Why aren't there many Filipino multimillionaires in the US? Did you know that the South Korean government, through Korean banks in the US, lends money to Koreans in the US to buy properties and start businesses here? Yep, they managed to buy a huge chunk of LA, now aptly called Koreatown. Hot tip, almost all K-pop idols come here in Koreatown to shop and dine whenever they are in Southern California. But I digress. Their government helps their citizens in other countries become rich. So by doing this, the Korean government actually expands their influence and economic power. They expand their market, they forge strategic economic partnerships. And of course, they earn back the money with interest and in dollars. For the Philippines, unfortunately, it's actually the other way around. It's the Filipinos outside the country sending money to the Philippines that's keeping the country afloat. So we send our money back to the Philippines instead of using it to invest in our businesses. That is one of the reasons there aren't a lot of Filipino multimillionaires in the US. We are on our own. Just to clarify, we Filipinos, we are one of the highest earning races in the US. We are in fact second among Asians in terms of annual earning, around $100,000 annually. However, that's only middle class in the US. There are also a few like well-publicized Filipinos that are multimillionaires, but admittedly there aren't many, especially if you talk first-generation migrants. One reason I think is our cultural orientation and our educational system. Growing up, we are taught that going to school to get a degree so we can eventually find a stable job, pay our bills, and have a family is the way to go. I don't know, perhaps it's due to the hundreds and hundreds of years of being colonized, or perhaps because we are very family oriented, that our priority is to raise a family rather than take risks to earn money. But security and stability has become our priority, not growing our money. In fact, entrepreneurship has been stagnant in the last 7 years in the Philippines. There are only a little over 1 million new businesses registration in 2021. That's just up from 996,000 in 2020. This is also reflected in the most popular college courses in the Philippines: nursing, education, and a few others. However, BRIA, it's a real estate developer in the Philippines, published a survey revealing business administration is now the most popular college course in the Philippines. Engineering is third, so maybe we are starting to march on towards entrepreneurship. Let's cross our fingers. Number two is support from the government. South Korean government, through Korean banks in the US, lends money to Koreans in the US to buy properties and start businesses. That's why Koreans here are so rich. If they want to put up a business or buy a property, they can always get a loan from their own bank. Their government helps their citizens in other countries become rich. And this is true also for Japan and other Asian countries. By doing this, their government expands their influence, their economic power, they expand their market, they forge strategic economic partnership, and of course, they earn back the money with interest and in dollars. South Korea, Singapore, Hong Kong, and Japan are leading investors in the US. They are pouring in money in real estates, technologies, and other investments. South Korea poured in 3.7 billion in the US, Singapore 2.3 billion, Hong Kong 1.9 billion, and Japan 1.7 billion. For the Philippines, it's the other way around. It's actually Filipinos outside the country sending money to the Philippines that's keeping the country afloat. In 2021, Filipinos working in the US sent around 12.7 billion in US dollars in cash remittances to the Philippines. That is 9.64 of our gross domestic product. Isn't that crazy? We sent more money to the US than the top 4 Asian countries invested in the US. If only we didn't need to send that money back and use it to invest in a business. We get no help from the government. We're on our own. That is one of the reasons there aren't a lot of Filipino multimillionaires in the US. Number 3, laws could be intimidating. Consumer protection laws here in the US, it's very, very strict. If a customer files a complaint, the court will actually hold you accountable and fast so you can You can pay fines or maybe even go to jail. I don't know. In the Philippines, lawsuits can take decades. So putting up a business here is expensive. Aside from the capital that you need to put to your product or your service, you actually need insurances, legal advice, and others. So many don't actually think it's worth it if they can live comfortably with a regular paycheck. So why bother? So that's one. The letter sender asked if we get discriminated. I personally, I've said this so many times in this channel, I have never felt discriminated except for that one time in a subway in New York. But I think it was because he was a little crazy, whoever that guy was. And he was blasting on everybody, not specifically me. So yeah, he did look crazy. So that was the only time I heard anything anything offensive about Asians. Or yeah, it was towards everybody, actually, not just Asians. So yeah, but in terms of other opportunities, I get the same amount of opportunities as everybody else. In fact, I do have a banking friend. He works for a specific bank here in downtown, and he told me that if I file a loan, I'll probably get approved because they like Asians. Banks actually like lending to Asians because we're good payers. That's what they said. So blame him, not me. So we actually get a lot of advantages. So he said, if you file a loan, you'll get approved. Don't worry. It's like because you're Asian. Okay. So yeah, we do have that reputation. We also have a reputation for being smart. And I like that stereotype. I'll take that. We're not, because we're very hard workers. So it's not just being smart, we're also hard workers. You put those two together, that's the ideal employee for a lot of people. We're known for not just doing our best in our work, but we also like creating business processes that will make the operations very efficient. And you can throw us in any department and it will perform splendidly. So yeah, so I think those things, it's just the comfort of having regular pay instead of having to risk any of your own money, getting any kind of extra headaches that you don't need. We're not really oriented towards that. I'm, however, starting to find more and more entrepreneurs, Filipino entrepreneurs, especially in the conferences that I attend, or whatever. I'm starting to meet a lot of Filipinos out there, and I'm very, very happy for that. So I think it's just a matter of being able to match the Filipino entrepreneurs with Filipino thinkers, because we have a lot of great ideas. We're very creative people. So if we are able to put the entrepreneurs and the creativity together, I think we'll do splendid. So it's just a matter of being able to build that community. And that's what I want to do. I want to build that community. I do need to grow my own business first, and I think I would just need some time to do that. After that, I think I will have the sort of the meat, or I guess the right credentials in order to be the one to pull that community. Or maybe somebody else is already doing that. I don't know, but that's the goal. For at least a personal goal, I just want to be able to provide a wider stage. I want to bring a lot of artists in here so that they will widen the market that they're catering to. And of course, that's good for their income, good for their creativity, good for their sales, good for their career. So that's my goal. But I'm still ways from that, but I'm working towards that. But I do hope that if you come across any Filipino entrepreneur, Filipino artist, Filipino product, please support, because that's going to help us. That's it. Thank you.